Homeowners have been in the home only 3 months, but an outdoor living space for family and friends just couldn't wait. We've traditionally seen new homeowners start with a kitchen or bathroom remodel, but that trend is changing. We're starting our outdoor living space with a rough area of artificial grass from Garden Mark. It's built on a compacted soil, geotextile, a base of 57s, and a screeded bedding layer of number 8 stone. That's going to be great for chipping to what will eventually be a putting green about 25 or 30 yards away. That's going to have a fringe around it installed with Garden Mark nails, and that'll make installation a breeze. Our final artificial grass area is over here with a playland and a pet relief area with antimicrobial infill. Great for the kids and easy cleanup. Our lower landing here, this fire pit, you can see it's plumbed and under pressure test. We're just waiting for the inspector. The paving stones in this lower landing will be our Everest shale gray 10 by 20s in a herringbone pattern. Hey Richard, how you doing?
Good, Pete, how are you?
I see you messing with a couple of different caps there. These are
our Piedemonte and the Onyx Black 14-inch caps.
Okay.
And the Clean Block technology.
Stain resistant, that's awesome. What's the texture?
Thermal finish.
Or eggshell, depending on it. And that's a real contrasting color to what our raised patio is gonna be. What else do we have?
Correct. Option 2, we're gonna have the Raffinado, the gray nickel color.
Okay, that's 60 millimeter. Now that one is gonna match the shale gray and gray nickel of Ocean Grande and Blue Grande, and it's gonna be a seamless transition. This one's really gonna catch your eye and say, hey, a grade transition's occurring here. Now I saw you laying this upper patio, and it went very, very quickly, but steps are different, correct?
Yeah, so the steps, we came in and we compacted our subsoil, put a layer of our geotextile fabric, put in about 8 inches of our 3/4 inch clean stone.
Okay.
And then we came in and put a little leveling pad of our 1/4 inch chip.
Okay, but your steps aren't level, are they?
Correct, they're not, they're floating this way.
Slight pitch forward, always getting water away from the steps. That's awesome.
Correct.
Now our block is gonna be the Brandon in Onyx Black. You put your first course in and then what?
Then we put in our biaxial 30-30 grid on top of that block. From the front of the wall to the back, we've got 4 feet.
Okay, and that's how it's measured, from the face of the wall to the tail of the grid. Now you're core filling and taper filling as you're moving. What goes on top of that grid?
And then we've got our polyurethane glue that we went pretty heavily on. Last thing we wanted, these things moving and shifting around. So we want to go pretty heavy with that glue, make sure they're not moving, and also put the glue lines with the flow of water in case we have water that wants to flow through it.
Yeah,
Hopefully
there shouldn't be any there, but if there is, it's going to be able to escape. The nice thing about those polyurethane adhesives, they're hydraulic. They expand into the pores of the concrete above and below. They almost welds them together. Now I see you have the InLight Evo Flex lighting that's going in here. How was that installation?
Yes, this is the new InLight that came out, and that comes with these little black brackets.
Okay.
And what we decided to do was glue them down onto the top of the block. Option 2, you could use the screws that it actually comes with. Screw them down through the block.
Just a tiny hole, run the screw down in there, and you would be done.
Correct. Let it sit if you're using the glue a little bit. Hold tight, and then we run our string all the way through, and it's gonna give it that nice wow factor, and we're gonna light these babies up.
Okay, now when you're drilling the hole, if you were to use the screws that are included, you're not going very deep. It's just a little tiny screw, just to hold them in place. Am I correct?
Correct, just a little bit.
And that's gonna give us a curved, continuous light all the way across that step. Now it's gonna give us a wow factor, but also for safety, correct?
Right, we also want who's ever down in the space to know that there are steps there. So we'll use this light to light up the steps, letting people know there is a step there so they can be cautious coming up and down the steps.
Yeah, kids running from the deck or from that door down to this area of the evening. And these steps are gonna double as a little bit of a amphitheater seating for the fire pit that's gonna be in here.
Correct, we're gonna add additional seating in the back, a little further away from the fire if we have a nice warm fire. And it's gonna light up our steps as well as our seating area in the back here.
This is really coming together. Thank you, Richard.
Absolutely, you're welcome. Yeah, this stuff is great, but it's a lot softer than the other stuff we've used, and my kids love laying on it.
Our team is finishing up our upper raised patio area. It includes all the design pillars, shape, color, texture, and scale. We've got our blue grande in shale gray and grade nickel, and our ocean grande in grade nickel in an ocean wave texture. They're all HD2 technology. Now you can see our pave tool drain, which is adjustable, is installed to catch any of the storm water running from the house and running from the steps, will be caught and run off into the environment. Our kitchen island or outdoor kitchen is approaching completion, and it's got some unique construction and design elements. Hey Richard, give me a hand. I noticed during the construction of this grill island you were using a HEPA particle vacuum. What's that for?
This is to suck up any remaining dust particles on the block, any small pieces of gravel. That way we have good block-to-block contact, and also help with the glue. We make good contact on the blocks and not gluing any dirt to dirt.
That's right, you glue dirt to dirt, nothing sticking, right? You need a good clean surface. Now the adhesive we're using is the same hydraulic adhesive we used on the steps?
Correct, the same polyurethane glue, not as heavy as the steps, super light, that way we don't have any moving on the block.
Or staining, we don't want to trap any water in here. Now I notice you're using the BL100 lifters. Does that help with the rate of production on this island?
Absolutely. This little tool will transition to function on all three sizes of our Brandon wall block.
Right, and you're lifting ergonomically, so you're strong and everything goes very quickly. Now, earlier I heard you talking about the design elements of this island, and you used the term shelf island. You used it twice. What do you mean by shelf island?
Right, got our cavities or our shelf on this side. We have one over here, but over here we're gonna do a 2-inch granite countertop and a nice smoker on top. Correct.
And the smoker sits on, so this one really isn't even a cavity. It's open on 3 sides.
True.
That's nice because the smoker is a cylinder, it's round, and now everybody in the environment gets to see how pretty that is.
Right.
Now what's going up on top here?
We're gonna transition to our prep space. We're gonna have a 2-inch granite countertop on here. So we're gonna have approximately 2x3 countertop for our buns, our spatulas, any tools that we need during the cooking process.
And its height is about
36 inches.
Yeah, which is a standard counter height. Now, this is a true cavity. It's finished on the inside, and you're gonna have granite again on there. What's this for?
Another 2-inch granite countertop on top of these blocks. A nice griddle, powered by propane. So we'll plumb our propane through the kitchen, and that way we'll be able to access the tank through the door over here.
Okay, as opposed to plumbing this, we're actually running it to a tank and have those access doors there. Now, if we have a tank in this application, that means that we need to have vents. Where are they?
We're gonna have 2 pave tool vents on the back side, and that's gonna help with our cross ventilation.
That's right, and they're very low in the horizon because propane's heavier than air. Now, what is this cardboard here?
Yeah, we decided to make a template for our stainless steel trash can, and that way we can prevent any scratches or damages. We just mark this out to our cutout size, pop it in, and pretty easy.
That's a really neat trick of the trade. Now this is gonna be the bar area, and it's a standard, typically 42 inches, I believe, right?
Correct.
Okay, what's your overhang gonna be for the bar stools out here?
So we're gonna have a 10-inch overhang, and that way this can dual purpose as a sitting table and also a prep station for the rest of our food items.
Buffet line, people coming through. Now to accent our Onyx Black Brandon, which has that slate texture, kind of a pronounced joint, individual units, and this band of Raffinato and grade nickel, I see you got the Smart Scope Tones color changing technology aimed right at this. Is that something you see more in designs in the future? And where do you see its application?
So we can also use this light to uplight our pergola post, uplight some trees, landscaping. We can change the colors through the changing of our seasons, the holidays, different parties. It's going to be a great addition to the space.
I think it should be a great addition to our industry.
Absolutely.
Richard, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.